So I've got an update about my missing calf that I really need to share with you guys. So we're heading up to the top of the pasture, and yes, this video is sponsored by electric bikes. So as most of you guys know, in a recent video, my newborn calf that was, I think, about 4 days old, ended up going missing. Spent several days looking for it, and I don't know, just not sure what happened to it. And it went missing, gosh, like 5 or 6 days ago since I recorded that video. I appreciate a lot of your kind words that you guys said on that last video I posted about this, but I will also admit that ever since this happened, I've felt like just a massive failure, and it's really bothered me, but it also kind of is what it is. And I was just basically coming to accept the fact that that calf was gone, and I hadn't seen any sign of it at all. Quite honestly, my full expectation was, as the cattle came through here and started to graze, eventually I would probably end up finding a body. And well, yesterday I came out here to move the cattle just like I'm about to do right now, and just like right over there, I saw a little black lump sitting on the pasture. And I will tell you that there is nothing more unappealing of a find than a calf that has been dead for several days in the June sun, just sitting out on a pasture, and realizing I was gonna have to deal with that. So I crept over to it, but as I was walking over to it, I noticed it was breathing. So yes, it is an actual Festivus miracle that my little black calf has been found. And that calf, who, by the way, we've actually named Sly, he has been around. The thing is though, he's like a ninja. And when he knows I'm around, he will try to hide. Look here, we're gonna go creep up to him right now. Hey Sly, how's it going, buddy? Uh-oh, he sees me, he's on the run. Here's his mom, Amanda Hug and Kiss. What's up, Amanda? How's it going? Oh, you're gonna run away? See, this is what he does. And this is what I'm now learning is like his MO. So basically, what he loves to do is hide in the tall grasses. And so every time he's heard me come out here, I've usually been too loud. And so he's heard me coming, and so it spooked him away. And like, you know, sometimes I'd come up here with the side-by-side and you can hear that. When I come up on the e-bike, it's actually nice and quiet, but a lot of times I'll be shooting a video or I'll be yelling and talking to the cattle. And so I'm announcing my presence before I even get here. And so now I'm realizing if I want to see Sly the calf, I've got to sneak up on him, because I don't know, he just is very prone to like wanting to run away. Like you can see him doing his thing right now. The other calves are much more chill around me. But little Sly, he's always on the fly. And Green Gables is dropping huge mud pies. I've been looking for him and searching for him, and I had trail cameras out, and you know, I have this thermal drone. So it's a drone, which is always a good way to look for an animal, but with a thermal camera, or an infrared camera technically. And what it would do is I can fly over, and like the heat signatures will detect the animals and you can see it. But because the grasses are so tall and he is so small, he was able to sneak into those grasses and pretty much just disappear. And then to top it all off, we've got the fact that it's really warm this time of year. I mean, it's already 70 degrees this morning. His body temperature gets concealed by his thick Scottish Highland coat. And the fact that he's black actually makes him harder to see when I'm viewing from the air, even if I'm just using the camera and not the thermal part. And so I was just missing him as he was hiding in the tallest grasses, and he's basically a stealth ninja. And so yes, I feel like Sly is the most appropriate name possible for this calf. Based on everything I've seen, all signs, everything about him, he seems very healthy and in good shape. I mean, heck, he's even more independent than any other calf I've ever seen, the way he's willing to like distance himself from his mom and go do his thing as much as he wants to. And so yes, I feel like a complete idiot that I kept missing him, but at the same time, I'm exceptionally relieved to have the good news that he's still around and he's very healthy and he's doing really good. Hey, cows, come on, cows, fresh grass, come on. Hey, cows, come on, cows, fresh grass, come on. You girls look hungry. Looks like Elvis jumped the line. You can also see Sly, he came back a little bit. He's warming up to me in the last 2 days now, which is good. How's it going there, little Curly Sue? How are you doing? Come on, girls, let's go, come on. All right, let's go. Gotta get that bag. Keep going, guys, let's go. How are you doing this morning, Annabelle? You were on the ground a long time. I think you might actually still calve. Ooh, and I think you're getting close. You know, I'd kind of given up thinking that she might have miscarried, but As I'm watching her right now, it looks like she's filling up with more milk. She's moving more slowly. And I don't know. Can I get a quick vulva check there, girl? I think Annabelle's gonna calf very soon. Maybe in the next day or two. Maybe not. I could be entirely guessing. I've been so wrong about Annabelle all spring that I don't know what to say about it. It's probably a good time to talk to you about today's video sponsor, electric e-bike, which, as you guys can see, I'm riding an electric e-bike right now. You know, it's been like this for a couple of years, but my favorite way to get around the farm in the summertime is on an e-bike. You know, they're fast, they're quiet, they get you a little bit of exercise, and they do a lot less impact on the land. So over the course of this spring, Electric E-Bike sent me a bike, and I've been riding it around all over the farm, using it to do all my farm chores, and I have just absolutely loved the experience of getting around on it. What I love about the electric e-bike above all other bikes I've ever tried, its durability, its range, its ease of use, and really everything about it has just worked out so well, even down to assembly where it shows up pretty much already pre-assembled. And so I have been a massive fan of the electric e-bike. And when it comes down to it, I find the electric e-bike to be about as useful as any other tool on the farm. It's about as important to me as my multi-tool just because of the utility and practicality of it. And I can get from the spot I'm standing on right now all the way back up to the cattle at the top of the pasture in less than 5 minutes. And so if you want to get electric e-bike of your own, you should definitely check out the link down below. You can use my discount code FARM and you'll actually get a free bike cover with your order, or you can actually just hit this QR code that's right there, and you are going to love getting around wherever you are, whether it's a farm or anywhere else, on electric e-bike. So thank you for sponsoring this video today, Electric E-Bikes. So I don't want to jinx myself, but other than the kind of drama of the last few days of Sly going missing, I feel like I've had very good luck this spring so far with calving season and grazing season and how everything's been going. I'm actually very pleased with the progress things have been making. Of course, I still get my reels tangled all the time. I still feel like they have yet to invent the perfect reel for electric polywire. Like, there's some good reels. This is not a good reel, but there are some good reels out there. They're still getting it down to a science. Of course, I'm getting pretty good at untangling these things when they do get tangled. There we go. Ready for use for tomorrow. Of course, we are in fly season. It seems like the Charolais cattle, who are these white cattle, have way worse flies than any of the Highlands. The Highlands actually are doing really good. I control the fly population with a couple of things. Number one, I have my chickens following them, which we'll talk about them in just a minute. Technically, they're not following them just yet. Number two, I have fly traps where they're basically garbage cans wrapped in fly paper. The flies end up getting stuck to the paper. And then the other thing I've been actually experimenting with is using organic like minerals, a combination of really garlics mostly and a couple of other things, trying to feed that as part of the mineral mix that I'm giving my cattle. I've been experimenting with that this year for the first time, and honestly I'm finding that it's a really good addition to the mixture of things for fly control. Again, it's not perfect, but on like a hot and wet 70-degree morning like we're feeling right now, you would expect to see a ton of flies. It's not bad. I mean, there's flies. That really happens anytime you're not doing like full-on spraying. But the downside with spraying is, you know, part of what I'm trying to do to improve my soil is get more dung beetles and that sort of thing into the mix. And when you spray or use permethrin or ivermectin or any of these things, what that does is it actually kills a lot of the beneficial insects and microbes and a lot of stuff that you need in here. And so it's really counterproductive to use that sort of treatment. And what I'm finding is, yeah, this combination of now moving the cattle very frequently, having the chickens, having the garlic, and actually just using the traps, like all of those things mixed together are doing really good. And I will say, a few years back, I was having horrid fly problems. And so if you're dealing with that sort of issue too with your animals, you know, sometimes it's not just one solution that works. A lot of times it's actually a mixture of solutions that work and make a huge difference. You know, I think it's interesting when you think about baby calves, right? They're effectively prey animals of the most extreme type. And while their moms can protect them a bit and the rest of the herd can protect them, they have such strong ingrained instincts in terms of hiding that, you know, sometimes you can forget, particularly when they're really young. As they get a little bit older, like a month or two old, they're a lot more sociable and friendly. But in that first week, they are skittish as heck. And speaking of which, they're now officially jumping ahead of the moms on a regular basis. So you got Curly Sue, you got little Sly, Buttercup, you got Elvis, Ariel's unnamed baby baby, which we still have to name. She needs a B name. I see Meatloaf back there, and I see Cindy Lauper back there. So all of our farm's calves all together at once. Yeah, Meatloaf right here, he's a beefy boy. His mom, Audrey, she I think might be part Angus, because he just always looks a little bit different. You know, one of Audrey's other calves, Jimi Hendrix, he also had that kind of thick, beefy neck. And so I have a theory that there's not just pure Highland genetics in those guys. And then speaking of not pure Highland genetics, we've got Elvis. You know, he is getting big and he's looking healthy and he's doing good and he is a beautiful calf. He is part Charolais, part Highland, and I think he might be growing some horn nubbins. He hasn't let me get close enough to look, but like if I look at the top of his head, I think I'm starting to see some horns start to develop, so I think he will have horns, but I'm not 100%. And then we got Sly, and there's his mom, Amanda Hug and Kiss. I did think it was really weird, like over the last few days when he went missing, that she wasn't freaking out. You know, usually when I've had, say, a calf like taken away from a mom or a calf that gets sick and dies, the mom is like beside herself for several days between the pain of not being milked as well as I think just general sadness. It's really hard on the mom to lose a calf, and she was relatively chill, and so I wasn't exactly sure what that was all about. And so I should have taken that as my first clue that he was okay. Our little ninja keeps slipping away. Sly sure is Sly. Oh. So actually right there you can see that's baby B, Sly's big sister or half sister. So baby B was born on the farm 2 years ago, actually right around this time. And her mom is also Amanda Hug and Kiss. And so yeah, they are half siblings. What, are you guys getting curious and you want to visit? Yeah, you like to even notice, right? Like Elvis has way more flies than either of the other two. I don't know what that is. Like the other two have like 3 flies on him. He's got actually a bunch. So I gotta worry about him a little bit, but it's not too bad. What is that, Elvis? Why do you got so many flies? Your sisters don't have flies. I don't understand this. Okay, well, you do you. I could just sit and watch these calves all day, but I do have other chores to do and other things to show you this morning. Chicken pasture grazing is going very, very well. I'm about to slip them in and start actually putting them directly behind, but I needed to give them some time to train to the others, and so that's why they're actually in this spot right here in a different row than those guys. Who's dropping eggs on the ground? You know, I made you guys nesting boxes for a reason. Don't disappoint me, huh? Yeah, I'm talking to you, lady. Yes, it's time to feed the chickens. Hang on. So you might actually notice I'm down 2 roosters. I actually had 4 roosters going in the flock. I was doing that because I wanted more genetic diversity in the chickens I'm about to hatch out. And so I have Beetlejuice still, and I also have this other rooster that I've nicknamed Switzerland because, I don't know, he's red and white and he's always kind of neutral. Yeah, like they're my 2 roosters now. The other 2 I ended up putting in the freezer, or actually more accurately, one of them ended up in the freezer. The other one is coq au vin, or was coq au vin. It was delicious. But yeah, I was keeping extra roosters in the flock so I could have just a little bit more genetic diversity with my birds for the hatch out, as well as increase my fertility odds. And so now the hope is that the next rounds that hatch, we have like just a good broad mix. The different roosters are from all sorts of different places. I've got, 1 that was homegrown, 3 that are essentially brought in. And so that mixture of genetics, I think should be pretty good. And we should have some very interesting chicks coming. Now let's see if we have some interesting eggs coming. Oh yeah, there we do. Hang on, ma'am. I don't mean to steal your eggs while you're trying to lay. So this is an honest confession of the complexity of making YouTube videos while also just trying to manage your animals. Because I wanted to sneak up on baby Sly this morning to show him to you guys, I decided not to move the chickens last night, which is when I should have moved them, and so I'll move them tonight. The one trick I have to do is I have to like make sure their door doesn't open so that I can hook it up to the trailer and move it. But I knew that doing that first thing in the morning would have spooked Sly away. How's it going, boys? Get you fresh water pumping here. So for some reason, the float valve on the water trough for the boys isn't working properly. Like the way it's supposed to work is when it fills up, it's supposed to shut off. But in my experience, these float valves have always been really finicky, and for some reason this one keeps not working. And so I've basically been just filling it up in the mornings when they need their water and then disconnecting it. I probably would fix it, only, I don't know, in a couple of days I'm gonna move them in with the ladies. If I actually look at my calendar right now, usually I shoot for mid-late June, at least while I'm recording this, because I'm usually always you know, a week or two behind real life. I'm cheating an extra week out just because, you know, you think about the cattle gestation period. I don't even really want to have calves born in March. And so the boys are being very well behaved. They're not trying to go anywhere. And so, I don't know, I'm just gonna give them a little bit more time away until I can start to guarantee myself some April 1st babies for next year. So yeah, you can see Macho Man, doesn't he look so much like his little calf there? Like they are gonna be identical almost, I can tell. Like, so little Sly and Macho Man. But you're a good bull, aren't you, buddy? Yes, you are. And Joey, you've been a solid sidekick, I'll give you that. You've got your ups and your downs, but overall, you're not too bad. I don't know, maybe I'm being overly harsh on him. It's just that Joey can cause problems sometimes, and so, I don't know, I get annoyed with him, but he's actually a very sweet steer as well. So yeah, this fall, he's gonna be heading off to be butchered, and so yeah, we will have both goose meat for sale, probably some duck meat for sale, possibly. I don't know, I'm not gonna guarantee that. And we'll definitely have some beef for sale, and so, I'll probably do updates on our website, which I gotta get working again, which is a whole other issue. But I will be putting out announcements once all that stuff's set and ready so that the next sale can begin. And so the way it works is you can reserve and purchase product online, and then we set a date for you to come up to the farm to do a pickup. We don't ship. We don't deliver. You have to come to the farm to pick it up and do that full transaction. And so keep your eyes peeled for announcements related to that. Probably the people who are gonna find out how to get it fastest are gonna be people who join our mailing list. And so I'll leave a link down below to join the mailing list. And that way, as soon as the store goes live, you guys can go and buy it yourself. Let loose the goose! So yes, you can see our little ones are getting bigger. You'll notice that we actually have a lot fewer of them. I think I've mentioned this before, but a lot of them are actually out and about around the farm. We'll try to track them down in just a little bit. But these guys are still too young to free range by themselves. And so, as you can see, they're just jumping into the tub and enjoying things. You'll also notice that we have some ducklings in the mix here too. So in that last batch of eggs to hatch, we had some ducklings hatch. Right here is Brussels, who you guys might remember, and this one right here is Sprout. We have this one who, I don't know, this is either Ralph's baby or it's maybe a wild baby. You see a pure Khaki Campbell baby in the back there. We see another Khaki Campbell up front here. And so we're just getting a pretty darn good mix of birds, and it's fun to see them explore the world and do what they do. So yes, as you can see, the little babies are doing really well. And then actually, if you're looking for the younger ones, right here is Honky Kong. What's up, Honky Kong? And do you guys remember Sprite and Crush? That one right there is Sprite. And so right here we have John Cena and we have Meatball. How's it going, Ron Swanson? So Ron Swanson was hatched out in 2020, and she was hatched out with a bunch of geese. And so she forever thinks of herself as a goose. And so when I look at these ducks and geese that are growing up together, I do think that they're gonna have very friendly duck and goose relationships, particularly the youngest geese that they were hatched out with. You know, for whatever weird reason, I just really enjoy having like lots of mixtures of different types of birds all at once. It makes it easier for me to manage, generally speaking. And so, yeah, that's what you're seeing here. And the same thing kind of goes for my duck, goose, and chicken nursery that we have here. You can see our one lone gosling who's growing up in here is doing good with her mama. Here we have our baby chicks and their mom. They love hanging out in the tall grasses. It's like the perfect place to hide. But I don't see our duckling moms in here. Let's go see if we can spot them. Abby, do you know where the ducklings are? So I've been working with Abby, getting her training better, particularly around the baby birds. And so far this spring, she's doing really well. We haven't had any accidents, and she's doing her best. Even though I have had to scold her a few times when she gets a little bit too playful with those baby birds. You know, That's part of the deal. Now, just a quick check-in with the weird chickens. I do owe you guys at some point, very soon, a weird chicken moment of zen. But you'll notice I only have 3 weird chickens out because I think I have actually 3 weird chickens inside sitting on nests. My hope is that very soon I've got some babies with me here. Weird babies, that is. You girls are such troublemakers, I swear. What are you doing? You're just hanging out here now? You just decided, like, hey, I'm gonna take over and just hang out? I see you, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I don't appreciate it. Betty Rubble, I expected more of you. Abby Dog, can you get them out of here? Come on. Out, out, out. They're actually just grazing right up there, so they only slipped 1 line. Let's go. Come on, girls. Come on. I'll deal with them in a minute, but I did want to show you guys this. Here's our little baby duck brigade. Now, unfortunately, I think we've lost 2 of the ducklings, but for the most part, everybody's doing really good. And when you have 12 ducklings like that, sometimes things happen, and so I'm not shocked. We also have 1 or 2 little adoptees. Like this one is much younger than everybody else, but they've somehow joined this flock. I don't even know how it happened. And then this mom has joined Baker in overseeing all these little ducklings, and so it's kind of nice to see how everybody's coming together. I also have a runner duck out here somewhere, and she's got like 4 or 5 ducklings of her own. And so it's like one of those funny times where we're just like getting swarmed with all the babies, and I don't know, it's kind of nice. It's fun because it's like our whole farm becomes this like animal habitat. What I'm trying to do is like keep things in balance and produce food at the same time. And I'm not sure I'm doing a great job at it, but I feel like I'm doing a better job at it than I used to do. And I do know I have a couple of other animals that want to get their food for the morning. Come on, go twas. Let's go. Come on, go twas. Out you go, boys. Barnacus, Telemachus, Larn. Good to see you, pal. How's it going? So because I have the goats free ranging during the day, that's actually forced me to change the schedule of when I feed the birds. And so I now feed the birds at night. And you can see the goats are like checking out the bird feeders to say, wait, where's their food for us? Even though there really isn't anything for them to eat, because I don't want them eating the grain from the birds. And so if I want to free range the goats and free range the birds, I've got to coordinate feeding times or else it creates problems. Abby's giving her friend Lauren a sniff. Yeah. Toby Dog, you look how I feel. Come on, we're gonna go show everybody what's inside here. So now that the birds are living outside full time, I have fully planted in here with pumpkins, and you can see the pumpkins are actually starting to take off. So these are all giant pumpkin plants, and so I should have a pretty good sizable collection of giant pumpkins for the fall. And yeah, I come in here every couple of days, give them water. If it gets really hot, which I don't think I'll do it today because it's not gonna be that hot, relatively speaking, I'll end up venting it. So would you guys look at this specimen that Allison found on the ground yesterday, right inside of here? Somehow it died, which is sad, but it's very pretty and it's like perfectly preserved. So I don't know what to do with it. Maybe press it in some glass or something with some flowers. Come on, Toby Dog. Come on, Abby Dog. Let's go. The dogs kind of miss being able to hang out there on a regular basis. Come on, Toby. Toby, come. Come on, Bubba. Now, my project of the day is I actually have to go pick up some supplies because very soon in the spot that I'm standing in right now is going to be the home to the new, more permanent goat barn and goat yard. And so it's going to be like an area that's like right through here. I want to actually have it encompass these rocks even so that the goats have like something to play on because they love playing on the rocks. And so that'll be something you guys start to see me building over the next few weeks. But before I go off to run those errands, I do have one other task I got to take you on. Hey, you guys. So here we have the indoor crew. Let's check in with them and we're gonna clean their bedding. I don't know if you guys remember Jake at all. Jake was a gosling who was having a lot of trouble walking and I had to build a leg brace for him, very similar to Meatball. He's now doing great. He's looking good. I actually think I'm gonna move him outside this morning, and I think I'm gonna move one other duck out this morning. Let's see, which one should I move? I think I'm gonna move Rocky. He's one of the ones that I think is either the son of Ralph or one of the wild ducks. Even though he's like several days older than this other yellow duck here, he's actually like about the same size, and I think that's because of his genetics. This brown one here also is really interesting. I'm gonna keep this one inside more. So this one, you can see it even in the eyes and the patterning on its eyes. I'm wondering if this one has wild genetics, and so we're gonna keep him inside because I wanna keep working with him and getting him just comfortable with me because hopefully he's not gonna fly away on me. Pablo Barncat, get out of the duck food, please. And by the way, we are still streaming live on Twitch if you guys ever want to watch and get a sneak preview of stuff that's going on here on the farm. I'll leave a link for that down below. We're gonna have you stay, and we're gonna have you stay. These guys were part of my last goose hatch. They were hatched out there. And now you two are gonna come with me and we're gonna go outside. Hang on. Let me get you water and food. Okay, let's add this. And you two come with me. Oh, don't worry, it's not so bad. You're gonna be with some friends very, very soon. You're gonna like this new place. You can even go swimming. Wow, I know, the harshness of sunlight. This is the first time you guys have ever seen sunlight, huh? Here you go, meet your new friends. Now you see those two little goslings up front. They were actually hatched out with these two, so they're very familiar with each other. Got a couple more ducklings that they were actually hatched out with, and you remember Brussels and Sprout, like I said. So yeah, this is my duck and goose posse, and I think they should do okay hanging out together. Well, that's all the updates I have from the farm. I think it's been a lot of good news updates today, which is nice, particularly after a video full of bad updates recently. But let's see how everybody gets along, and I'll be back again soon with another video.